The MSI Interceptor DSB1 is MSI Gaming's entry-level gaming mouse, priced affordably at $20. Its price point is extremely attractive. But the question is, can this mouse keep up with the dragons, or is it too stripped down and not worthy of your hard-earned cash? Let's find out. Starting out with the build, the whole mouse is made of plastic, with the inclusion of a grippy rubber coating on top, which left quite a good first impression. The left and right clicks have a medium to heavy actuation force. They feel quite similar with each other, indicating good quality. They are a bit heavier compared to my usual mice, but are not too hard to get used to. The scroll wheel is a bit mushy and harder to access as it is situated deeper compared to the left and right clicks. Middle click is not too hard to press, but may take some time getting used to due to its position. Moving on to the left side of the mouse, we find the two side buttons. The forward button has this dotty rough surface on the plastic to differentiate itself to the back side button. They have a good amount of travel, with the exception of the forward button being slightly harder to press. They are, however, quite small for my taste and are positioned too close to where my thumb rests, which sometimes cause accidental misclicks. Also, the side buttons wobble. This is not a big deal, but something I dislike. Do note that there is no software to reprogram the buttons, which is okay because the default button mappings work good enough. We'll get more into that later. When shaking the mouse, it has this noticeable rattle that doesn't go away even when holding the scroll wheel and the sensor. This mouse also features a rubber non-braided cable with a gold-plated USB connector. Personally, I do not see the benefits of a gold-plated USB connector. Its inclusion, however, is much appreciated. Moving on to the shape, this is a right-handed ambidextrous mouse, meaning the left and right sides are the same with the exception of the side buttons located on the left side. It is a small mouse which is perfect for my hybrid claw grip, but would also suit palm grip for smaller hands. What separates this mouse from the rest of the market is the inclusion of an adjustable weight system. This was really surprising because even higher end mice like the Death Adder Elite do not have them, a big plus for MSI. It is located underneath the mouse just below the sensor, and while the cover is not exactly easy to remove, once you do, you can change the weight from 80 grams without the metal weights to 100 grams. This is amazing because it's so light without the weights, making it a strong candidate for those who prefer a lightweight gaming mouse. The mouse has some aggressive lighting, but in my opinion doesn't look good. It stays on as there is no software to configure the lighting, so the red LED might not match your setup. It is very inconsistent and bleeds out in different areas where it isn't intentionally illuminated. The lighting on the logo in particular is not pretty to look at, as it is not equally lit. The side button's lighting is also inconsistent, as the back button is brighter. Also, the LED indicator in the DPI switch is subpar, as it barely lights up. Overall, the lighting doesn't look very premium, and I prefer having a minimalistic approach. But as usual, what makes a great gaming mouse is its sensor. Sadly, the sensor on this one is a reflection of its price. While it is usable, it's not a very good sensor for gaming. For MOBA, it's fine as it's not too sensor dependent, but for FPS, this one is really hard to use. The sensor easily loses track of fast movements. Testing on my SteelSeries QCK Plus Navi Edition, you can see that fast swipes makes the mouse lose track and spin out. Acceleration is also very obvious, which messes up the accuracy of the mouse. As you can see, the mouse doesn't return to its original position. This is a huge deal breaker for serious FPS players who require the best and most accurate sensors. However, do take note that the sensor isn't that bad and is usable by adjusting the speed of your clicks. Plus, the lift-off distance is also quite low. But the biggest deal breaker for me personally is the DPI steps. With the DPI button, you can cycle from 800, 1200, and 1600 DPI. This is extremely limiting because players who wish to go below 800 DPI cannot do so, and players who want precise switching such as 1500 DPI are also stopped. And as stated earlier, there is no software to fine-tune your preferred DPI. To summarize, the MSI Interceptor DSB1 is a good value gaming mouse. The left and right clicks feel like quality switches, which should satisfy both click-intensive and FPS games. The shape is also a strong point, especially for those who prefer a claw-based grip. Also, the rubber coating is comfortable and gives the premium vibe for such a low price point. And finally, the adjustable weight system is by far my favorite feature as it clearly sets itself apart from its competitors. However, this mouse is far from perfect. The side buttons are small and is definitely not my favorite part of the mouse, considering that I use them a lot. The lighting is also not good and kills off the whole premium vibe. Plus, there's no software to change the lighting modes or completely turn it off. And of course, the biggest issue is its sensor. For serious and competitive FPS players, it may not be good enough for them as it easily loses track and spins out. In conclusion, $20 could buy you a lot these days, such as this mouse. While it has a lot of drawbacks, I think it's still a solid choice. If you could get past its sensor issues, then it's a solid choice for beginners and those who have a tight budget. But if you are a serious FPS player, then I'd recommend you to skip on this mouse and get a better gaming mouse with a better sensor. Okay, so that has been my review of the MSI Interceptor DSB1 Gaming Mouse. If you enjoyed that video, please leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.